Okay, we're recording now.
Okay, let's open the regular meeting of the Design Review Subcommittee, Wednesday, February 23rd, 2022 meeting. We have some, our first item is approval of minutes. And we have been informed of one error on the minutes, and that was the fact of staff present. That Recreation Manager Samantha Wiley was not present at that meeting. I don't have any other changes.
No, I'm good.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
And vote. Commissioner Camp?
Aye.
Commissioner Crandall is an aye, so it is passed with the correction that Samantha was not present at that meeting. We have one item of business today, mural on public property, end of pier concession building, and Samantha Wiley is the applicant. Do we have a presentation, or do we just want to work off the staff report?
Just the staff report has all the details in it for you guys.
Okay. So we will just go right into discussion on that. The one thing, I'm comfortable with murals on the building. That's not an issue, and normally even on applications for private property, we don't get into the artwork itself.
Yep.
It's scale, size,
Right.
materials, and when we're doing those, they don't. When they came up with the mural program, it was made clear that murals should not be advertising or signage. And we have one of the two murals which
Sure.
Depicts that. There may be ways around it. So I think we need to discuss that. Commissioner Camp, do you have any, I think you were concerned about how it was going to be applied to the clapboard siding and whatnot, and because it didn't really say whether there's going to be a frame and
Yep.
a material painted on.
Yep, I can get into that detail too. Can you jump in?
Yeah, please.
Okay. So the Snack Shack's getting renovated as a capital improvement project through the Public Works Department. And in doing so, they've got to place scaffolding around the entirety of the building. So we will be coordinating it so that the artist will, just right after the building is really close to being done, the scaffolding will remain in place so the artist can get on there and apply the mural to the siding. And that's how they also painted the SC that's on the pier restroom is right in front of this building. So it'll be the same application and method to get it up there.
Okay.
Now, to speak to the one side that talks about kind of the bait and tackle, this is a kind of a unique building in that it is a revenue source for the city. It's a city concession stand. And the concept behind adding some type of signage was to make it generic enough that no matter who's operating it, at the end of the day, it's bait and tackle. And it's not gonna say, a commercial name necessarily, and actually the current operator has a different name, but we're not going with that. We're trying to do something that's generic enough that tells people as they're coming down the pier that, oh, there's a snack shack down there, and they have bait and tackle, and historically there's always been a bait and tackle shop at the end of the pier in different variations and different constructions. So the goal was to better advertise that there is more to the end of the pier. A lot of the feedback we get from people is that they don't even realize that there's a food and beverage spot at the end of the pier because they can't see that far down. So that was kind of the idea behind coming up with, again, something that is a super generic name more than anything, and the goal from the city side, and I manage the concessions contracts on that end as well, is any type of RFP or contract we get into, the city's not going to change this name. It's not going to become any type of commercial, name Snack Shack. It's always going to be the San Clemente Pier Snack Shack Bait and Tackle. That's the concept behind it. And this is something that Pure Pride, who's funding the art, worked into their design. And this is still very conceptual. They kind of derived it off of, there's a logo, I think there's a logo in Laguna somewhere that talks about, it's like the Lost Pier or something like that. It has kind of a vintage look to it. So they're trying to reflect that and kind of incorporate the vintage nature of the pier as well and its historical kind of presence. So that was the idea behind that kind of piece, if that makes sense.
So you said, I'm sorry, you said there's improvements to the shack itself.
Yeah, so nothing beyond what you see. So it's not getting expanded. It's not getting it's getting a facelift. Basically, it's going to get a new paint job. They're going to fix any of the dry rot and any of the siding. They're actually going to be able to eliminate this lattice work, which is pretty unsightly at the top. And we're going to be able to kind of continue the slatting all the way up there. So it'll be a little bit more continuous. And the Pure Pride is also donating a weather vane for the top of this building, which previously was on the building many years ago. So they've brought back kind of that historic weather vane concept. And then there'll be a cupola that the weather vane will sit out of, again, matching the cupolas that are on the Fisherman's. So the remodel itself is not going to be anything extravagant. It's going to be a really nice cleanup.
So the lattice work, does that screen mechanical equipment?
It is, yes.
So you're going to replace it with something else?
Yeah, so the mechanical equipment has to be completely pulled out and replaced in full. So what they're going to continue up with is a kind of a slatting that'll have some ventilation that still allows this is like the hood system and all of that in the snack shack.
Are we going to look at that design, or is that just...
No, it's an in-kind replacement, so it's just major maintenance is what it's under, because nothing's going to change on the actual building.
Okay.
Be the same colors. It's going to better match it'll be the same exact color scheme as the Pure restrooms that are there that they did a year ago as well,
Pure restrooms.
which are just before this building.
Halfway up the pier.
Halfway
Oh,
up the pier, yeah.
Because that's a nice job they did on the...
Yeah, so you're going to
Okay.
see that same kind of concept at this
No,
facility.
I mean
It's-
the one over on the Beach Trail.
Oh, the basic
Oh, yeah.
Those
pier.
are good. Yeah, they did
Yeah.
a great job on that.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen here.
No, this is going to stay the same style, just again, that facelift concept.
And this frame and, substrate, if you want to call it that, what is that? Just a big piece of plywood or something? Or-
I think that's just their imagery. They photoshopped this on. There won't be a frame. It's going to be kind of the raw edge. if you will.
So it's going to have to be painted onto the,
Correct. It'll be painted
Double
directly
siding.
onto the side
Oh,
of
onto
the
the
building.
building.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yep.
Which I guess if the siding is all being repainted
hmm
first,
Yeah.
it's going to look a lot different. I mean, where you'll see. I mean,
It
this,
will.
This is an overlap siding,
Mhm.
Yeah.
which maybe isn't a bad thing, but
yeah, shiplap beveled siding.
yeah.
Yep.
So you'll see the shadow lines.
hmm
It'll be a hard thing to paint on.
Yeah. Well,
To
so what are we?
proportions.
What are we reviewing here? I mean,
We are basically just raising any concerns that we might see and make sure it conforms with the intent of the mural ordinance. And, yes, I think something fun on this building, the North Beach building
Muralist.
has some kind of name on it.
Not anymore. It did
It
for a
used to
while.
say
It
that
had
something
Hardee's.
concessions or
Yeah,
something like
it said
that.
Hardee's on it for a while, and that has just been vacant. That's why
Okay,
it
so
said nothing else.
just having a generic name on. So it's
Yeah.
really the Subcommittee pier snack shack.
Yeah, that's kind of the concept.
It just sticks out. It just seems awkward to me, the way the sign was put on. But
well, it's because it has the whole sort of a circular logo.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
it seems to me that if you had, especially since it's kind of a dark backdrop,
Sure.
if you could do Snack Shack in just light colored letters,
Okay.
it would certainly, I think it would be just as obvious. You could see it from a distance.
Sure.
But it wouldn't be such a strong element of the mural. This almost overpowers. I like the seagull.
I mean, from the beach and all, will you be able to read it? Probably not. I mean, it's a long ways out there.
It's a long ways.
Yeah.
You probably could get
So-
halfway and then see what it is.
We've given exceptions on signs for size due to distance to see them and all. And I mean, I'm not upset with the size of it or anything. It just seems like,
I mean, if it just said snack shack,
Okay.
I mean, why does it have to say San Clemente? I mean, you're
Yeah.
saying, it's
I think it's
Is
part of
it-
their branding concept of
there's a
labeling it San Clemente. I'm happy to give Pure Pride and the artist that feedback. Like I said, this was very conceptual, and I know the artist is very open to feedback. So
Mhm.
I like it better. I mean, I like this one with the I guess
oh yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah, that one looks good. And this one I like too, but because of that interesting kind of an angle, but it's just like, it's overpowered by this.
sure.
And I think if at the bottom there, you could do pretty large letters, Snack Shack.
Okay.
Maybe it doesn't have to be quite so stylized.
Sure.
And I think it would be very effective. It still would be a good
And
solution.
just out of caution, so the city doesn't get having the sign part of the mural, I think planning should look at a little bit and see if art on city property has to abide by that same.
It doesn't. It's a separate policy with public property.
Yeah, I kind of like to, I guess the building is fine, And
Yeah.
I kind of like to see what the,
Would you want
Front
to
of
see
it,
it
so-
smaller? Like a smaller?
No, not
footprint?
necessarily
Okay.
smaller, just it's an integral part of the mural,
Yeah.
which is good. But if maybe there were two sections to the artwork where one is rather than overlapping.
Okay.
um,
Sure.
Because it really takes away from the mural.
yeah, I think
Sure.
the bigger the better, even if it went almost to the edge, to the trim.
Yeah, but I'm thinking, maybe the sign's a horizontal element over the mural.
Okay.
Now, is it
But
gonna
not
have
maybe
any
an integral
lighting?
part, because I keep looking at it going, well, what's going on behind that sign that?
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Are you missing something that's in the water? 'Cause
Yeah.
it's kind of a glimpse
Yeah.
under the ocean, under the water line.
Yeah, what is it?
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like he came up with a great mural and then slapped a sign on it.
Yeah.
Uh,
I see what you're saying.
Is that going to be lit at night?
I don't think we're adding lights.
It looks like there's some sort of a fixture. on
There
the
is a
left side.
fixture, so that will be upgraded basically. We typically don't add any more lights than is already there.
Because you can, that could be a little more sensitive.
What they might do
Illusion Act or
is
something.
they might take this light and put it right above it.
Mm-hmm.
That would be my guess.
They're also lighting the pier. Pure Pride had that big,
Yes, that project's kind of been put on pause based on the infrastructure of the pier.
oh, okay.
It's got some issues. It's hard to light a
And
pier
it's not open after dark anymore, is it?
Not
till
really.
midnight.
It's open till what?
Midnight.
The Snack Shack is?
No, she's open till 5 or 6,
Yeah,
and
it's
then
usually
lobster
not past dark.
Pier's
lobster
open till
season.
midnight.
Yeah, pier's open till midnight. Lobster season, she stays open till 10 or even 11 o'clock though.
It seems to me that especially if the lighting project is on hold, that there's an opportunity here
Mm-hmm.
to create, more secure lighting because there's now you can get, and I think if you went all the way up to the Ridgeby, and you did not like a gooseneck fixture, but there are fixtures
They
now
do
that
have
will light
those.
a piece of art.
They
It will
have them on the-
flood it without any hot spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that way
I see what you're
that
saying.
thing will become like a kind of a beacon, at the
Mhm.
out there. So even if you don't see the Snack Shack, you'll see that image. which I think
I know
cool.
something's out there.
Yeah, I mean, if it's
Sure.
open till midnight,
Right.
even though, you can't get any food out there after 6. I mean, I think that'd be cool.
But like she says, during lobster season, their tackle
yeah.
shop's open, and
They are.
so that's cool.
Yeah. Okay. I appreciate that feedback.
But I have no problem with murals going on the building.
Okay.
I think the artist has a good feel for what would be good. I'm just distracted by the way the sign was put on.
Sure. That's fair. I'll give him that feedback. Like I said, this was very raw for them, and he was very much open to feedback on how to integrate
We
it.
have no say in what's on a sign.
Right.
Is this
In
one,
fact, it has nothing to do with the copy.
the one with the boat, is that's going to be the side facing the ocean,
Yes.
the end of the
Yeah.
pier?
Yeah, so you'll see it when you're walking back down. So the Parks and Rec Commission did review this as well. Their one feedback was this image is the same actually that's on the base of pier restroom. You know, there's some tile murals,
Mm-hmm.
and there was an image of the Dory races on there. So there was a couple commissioners that thought, is that too close in proximity? But their sentiment was generally, most people aren't going to pay attention.
Well, it's one of the biggest events at the Ocean
It is,
Festival.
yeah.
And people love it.
You know it,
So that's all right.
And then just so you guys are aware, this gets coated with an anti-graffiti coating and kind of a
Good.
UV resistant coating. And then the artist is local and is committed to coming back and touching up as needed. So we will stick to that. And then our public facility art policy only gives a 10-year lifespan to this stuff. So if at 10 years, if it's at disrepair and maintenance can't really keep it up,
Okay.
then it's going to get painted over and it'll just be a blank building again.
Has Pure Pride stepped up to say they'll do any long-term maintenance on it?
That is their intention as an organization,
That's what I
is
kinda
long-term
heard.
maintenance of the pier. So they typically are very willing to come back
Good.
and support what we need.
I think it's
Yeah, it's a
good project.
I think
It's
it'll
a good
help.
project. Yeah.
Because our pier is kind of, it's nondescript.
Yeah, this will liven it up a little bit and make it a little more exciting.
So they're going to add a little bit
exciting
more
spot.
seating too, since I can expand on the project a little bit for you
Mhm.
guys. They're going to do, on this side of the building, they're going to add like a 12-inch, maybe a 9-inch wide little strip of, it's supposed to be kind of a bar top. So there'll be some bar stools, well, 6 bar stools on this side of the pier that will give some additional seating. And then the picnic tables that are currently there are going to get painted with some game table tops, so you'll have kind of a checker setup and a backgammon. And then the flagpole is now lit, so we can hang the American flag on there too now. So that's really exciting. So they're fantastic improvements. I think it'll make it shine a little bit more.
That's great.
Yeah.
Very good.
Okay.
Well, I think we're in agreement that the artist can look at these things and just work out that one mural. The Dory one, I love. I'll go to the Ocean Festival and watch
Yeah.
that, particularly if there's surf.
Yes.
If there's no surf,
It's pretty amazing. I mean, it's such
Yeah.
an athletic feat, it seems like, watching them from the shore.
and it's not guys that do it a whole lot.
No.
So it can get pretty
Yeah, it's pretty incredible.
pretty crazy.
So, all right,
Okay,
cool. I
very good.
appreciate your guys' feedback and your comments. I'll share it with the group.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And if you see Amber, say hi to Amber for me.
I'm probably seeing her tonight. They're doing the flagpole lighting. I'm here.
Oh, great.
Rotary. So,
Oh, I might go to that.
yeah, it's 5:15. They're shooting for.
Okay.
Mayor will be there. It's going to go proclamations. So,
What's going on there?
they are going to raise the flag on the flagpole
Oh.
at the end of the pier, and they've got the national anthem will be sung. It's just kind of a quick, sweet little event. Rotary Club will be there.
Photo op.
Yep, photo op. So, hope to see you guys there.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, the next item is new business.
Can I throw something out for
Please.
consideration? So Adam wanted me to throw out and kind of get your take on possibly changing the start time of this meeting. So historically, DRC meetings have always been at 3 o'clock. Basically, all of the other commissions and boards, their meetings begin at 3 p.m. But as Chair Crandall recalls, we changed the time to 4 p.m. At the request of one of the DRC members at the time because they were having trouble attending the meetings, due to long commutes. And so he wanted me just to kind of float that idea, to everybody today. I know we're missing one committee member, but that's, something that he just wanted you to consider to really just get it back on the schedule, so that it's more consistent with the other meeting times.
It certainly cuts into a work day.
Yeah, but I don't think I have a problem with it. If it's what you guys prefer, I mean, 4 works good for me because I do get pretty much a full day.
Yeah.
And but I think it's every other week. I can probably handle it. If that's preferred.
It works for me, and I don't know about Scott, but
That way we're out of here by 5 for sure. I would think if we start at 3, usually sooner.
we're usually, they don't usually take too long. We haven't had a big workload lately. I'm thinking in July, there could be new members on design review, so it might have to be rethought at that time again.
Are we sticking to 3, or is it going to be additional?
It'll just be 3,
Yeah.
Okay.
but we do reappointments for officers and all.
Yeah,
On
I
an
think
annual
we need to
basis.
we need to get you out of here. That's
Yeah.
no problem.
So, but talk it over with Adam. I'm fine with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
If it's an imposition,
I'm okay.
okay.
Okay. Well, maybe.
So that's a majority.
Okay. Maybe we can, if you happen to have an opportunity to talk to Commissioner Scott
McCann.
Yeah, okay, there you go. I always forget the last name. Let us know because we certainly are fine with this time and we can keep it at this time and just move forward as is. But just wanted to float the idea, see if anybody was had any interest in changing up the time.
Yeah, it makes no difference to me.
Adam could always text him. He likes texting and say, "Hey, the other guys are okay. Can we switch to 3?"
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll reach out to him.
So that was new business. Old business, I'm not aware of any. Oral and written communications, none.
No.
And we have an adjournment. I've got the page up, so I'll make the motion to adjourn to the next regular meeting of the Design Review Subcommittee will be held Wednesday, March 9th, 2022 at 4 p.m. in the conference room A of San Clemente City Hall, 910 Calle Negocio, San Clemente, California. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Take a vote. Commissioner Camp
Aye.
and Commissioner Crandall is an aye also. And I just